America sells the world a story about justice and rehabilitation. Today, we're reading the fine print. And in that fine print, you'll find a system operating on a logic so twisted it borders on the absurd. We've compiled 30 facts that reveal how the US prison system really works. And it's nothing like what they tell you on the 6 o'clock news. 1. In some US prisons, they've gamified good behavior with time banks. Inmates earn credits for not causing trouble, which can shave time off their sentence. It's the most American solution imaginable, turning personal rehabilitation into a soulless, points-based system, like collecting coupons for a pizza. But the pizza is freedom. 2. A life sentence in many US states is a promise the system fully intends to keep. Inmates can transform their lives, become mentors, and show every sign of rehabilitation, yet are frequently denied even the possibility of a parole hearing. It's like being told you can leave a party anytime, only to find the door has been bricked up from the outside. 3. Prison labor is where minimum wage goes to die. Inmates perform skilled work, from manufacturing office furniture to literally fighting wildfires, for as little as 12 cents an hour. Then, upon release, their criminal record often prevents them from getting a job using those very skills. It's a masterclass in psychological torment disguised as job training. 4. If you want to see a truly captive market, look at the prison phone call industry. Private companies charge families extortionate rates, turning a 15-minute call into a $15 luxury. It's a perfect business model, really. Your customers have no other options, and their desperation is your profit margin. Capitalism at its most efficient. 5. The line between an immigration detention center and a prison is so thin, it's practically invisible. These facilities share the same delightful features: overcrowding, abuse, and a profound lack of legal aid, all while holding tens of thousands of people, including children. The welcome mat to the land of the free, it seems, is made of concrete and barbed wire. 6. Here's a chilling piece of data on national priorities. America has more jails than it has colleges. In states like Texas, it's not even close, with more than double the number of correctional facilities. This isn't a budget oversight. It's a statement of purpose. It seems the national strategy is to build the cage first and worry about the mind later. 7. Prison is so psychologically crushing that for many, suicide becomes the most viable escape plan. A toxic mix of solitary confinement, rampant violence, and a near-total absence of mental health care makes it the leading cause of death in some facilities. The institution designed for correction is, in fact, an expert at permanent deletion. 8. Just when you think the system can't get any more dystopian, you learn about forced sterilization. As recently as 2014, women in California prisons were sterilized without proper, informed consent. This isn't some dusty, forgotten law from a shameful past. This is a modern atrocity, echoing eugenics in a place that's supposed to be about justice. 9. In the US, you can make a catastrophic mistake as a teenager and be forced to pay for it for the next 70 years. Around 1,500 people are serving life without parole for crimes committed as minors. It's a justice system that believes in forever, but not in growth, operating on the absurd premise that a 15-year-old's brain is fully cooked. 10. That friendly customer service agent helping you reset your password? They might be doing it from a prison cell. Some of America's biggest corporations use inmates for their call centers, paying them pennies. It's the ultimate win-win for the company. Cheap labor, no commute, and a workforce that is legally forbidden from quitting. 11. The American prison system has a business model that any CEO would envy. Its product is designed to fail. The harsh, punitive environment is a proven catalyst for reoffending, which creates a guaranteed stream of repeat customers. It's not a correctional system, it's a subscription service with a horrifyingly high renewal rate, paid for by taxpayers. 12. America prides itself on the phrase, "Every vote counts," unless your vote belongs to one of the 6 million citizens who've served felony time. In many states, this ban is for life, long after their debt to society has been paid. It seems that debt comes with a hidden interest clause, a lifetime of political silence. 13. Death row is a slow-motion execution of the mind before the body. Inmates can spend up to 40 years in solitary confinement. a time span longer than many people's careers or marriages. They are essentially buried alive in a concrete box, waiting for the state to finally get around to killing them. It's a level of cruelty that defies easy description. 14. In some U.S. women's prisons, a tampon is considered a luxury item, not a basic necessity. These essential hygiene products are so severely rationed that women are forced to use unsanitary makeshift alternatives, leading to dangerous infections. This isn't about saving money. It's a calculated method of stripping away dignity, one humiliating month at a time. 15. Got a toothache? In the free world, that's a trip to the dentist. In a U.S. prison, it can be a death warrant. In one horrific and well-documented case, an inmate died from a tooth infection because he was repeatedly denied antibiotics. The system isn't just failing to provide care, it's actively creating fatal outcomes from easily treatable conditions. 16. Overcrowding is the sanitized term for a situation that's more like a human warehouse with a leaking roof. In states like California, facilities are so packed that inmates are forced to live in a constant, high-stakes game of human Tetris, sleeping in gyms and hallways. It's not just a violation of rights, it's a public health disaster where the only guaranteed amenities are violence and disease. 17. In the twisted logic of some prisons, behavioral problems have a simple pharmaceutical solution. Inmates are often put on heavy sedatives, not for legitimate medical reasons, but for the convenience of the staff. It's a chillingly efficient form of control that turns a correctional facility into a quiet, heavily medicated ward, effectively managing people by erasing them. 18. On paper, the warden is in charge. In reality, many prisons operate as sovereign territories run by powerful gangs with their own economies, laws, and brutal HR departments. For inmates, it means survival isn't about following the official rules, but about paying tribute to the right shadow government, which holds the real power behind the bars. 19. In America, you can serve hard time without ever being convicted of a crime. Hundreds of thousands of people are currently locked in jail simply because they can't afford to pay cash bail. For the exact same alleged offense, a wealthy person walks free until their court date, while a poor person can lose their job, home, and even custody of their children while waiting behind bars. It's a system where freedom isn't a right, it's a luxury item for sale. 20. Thanks to the lingering ghost of the war on drugs, the justice system's calculator is permanently broken. You can find people serving life sentences for non-violent drug offenses, a longer sentence than what some receive for taking a life. It's a world where the punishment has completely lost its connection to the crime, operating on a logic that baffles all reason. 21. Think your health insurance copay is annoying. In many state prisons, inmates are charged a fee just to see a doctor or a nurse. It's a system that forces people to choose between buying food from the commissary or getting a life-threatening infection looked at. The result is predictable. People avoid seeking help until it's far, far too late. 22. Once you've served your time, the punishment continues in the form of a million little rejections. One of the cruelest is being banned from public housing. The system releases people, often with no money or job, and then legally denies them access to a roof over their heads, pushing them directly toward the desperation that can lead back to crime. 23. Every word spoken on a prison phone is state property. These calls are not just monitored, they are recorded and stored, creating a massive database of private conversations. Even communication with a lawyer can be compromised, taking the sacred concept of attorney-client privilege and feeding it directly into a shredder. 24. In a truly magnificent display of predatory logic, some prisons charge inmates for their own punishment. If you're sent to solitary confinement, you can actually be billed an extra fee for the privilege. It is the ultimate insult, forcing you to pay for the experience of being held in the most psychologically destructive conditions the state can legally devise. 25. The Supermax prison is the system's black hole, and in some states, you can be sent there without any due process. A single prison official's decision, no trial, no hearing, is enough to condemn an inmate to 23-hour-a-day lockdown and extreme isolation. It is an exercise of absolute power in a place where accountability has ceased to exist. 26. The practice of shackling pregnant inmates during childbirth is a special kind of American horror story. Despite being widely condemned as torture, it continues to happen. It's a practice so medieval you'd expect it to be a historical footnote, not a current event in a nation that considers itself civilized. 27. In the absence of cash, a bizarre and fascinating new economy emerges. Inside prison, inmates have turned everyday items into currency. We're talking about a world where a man's wealth can be measured in packages of ramen noodles, and your life savings might consist of a locker full of mackerel cans. It's a testament to human ingenuity in the most desperate of circumstances. 28. The idea that prison is for rehabilitation is one of the system's most cynical jokes. The vast majority of inmates are warehoused with zero access to meaningful education or job training. They are locked away for years, denied any tools for self-improvement, and then released with the expectation that they will magically become productive citizens. 29. The US is the undisputed world champion of female incarceration, a title no one should want. With over 200,000 women behind bars, most for non-violent crimes, the system is also creating a secondary crisis. A huge percentage of these women are mothers, meaning their sentences are also served by their children, who are left behind in a struggling foster care system. 30. A county jail in Florida once implemented a policy that was so cartoonishly evil, it's hard to believe it was real. They charged inmates for access to the outdoors. A $5 fee was required for the privilege of breathing fresh air. It was a literal pay-to-play system for sunlight, a perfect metaphor for a system that has found a way to monetize absolutely everything. So, let's skip the philosophical debate. Here's the real question for the comments. Which of these two statements is more accurate? These inmates broke the law, they get what they deserve. Or, this is a broken for-profit social experiment, and my tax dollars are funding it. Pick one and defend it. And if you believe these uncomfortable truths need a bigger audience, show the algorithm you're here by hitting like and subscribing.